That face looks familiar, right? If you grew up with Disney shows in the background, you probably know her. Now she's lighting up Netflix, and TMZ just turned that buzz into a guessing game with a headline that got people clicking fast. Here's the simple version of what's going on. TMZ published a feature built around a series of stylized photos and asked readers to guess which actress is behind them. The hook is that she first broke out on Disney, and lately she's been showing up on Netflix, which is why you're seeing her all over your feeds right now. It's part pop culture trivia, part promo moment, and it taps into two things the internet loves: nostalgia and a big streaming hit. Why does this matter now? Timing. Netflix has a habit of dropping new seasons or buzzy films in waves, and when a project pops, the star at the center tends to trend across platforms. Entertainment sites then package that momentum into quick, shareable posts. So even if you haven't watched the show or film yet, you still feel the ripple through social media, headlines, and short clips. For the actress in question, it's a signal that the mainstream is paying attention to her post-Disney chapter. There's also a broader pattern at work. Over the last few years, we've watched a steady pipeline from kid and teen networks to streaming leads. Jenna Ortega moved from Disney Days to Netflix's Wednesday. Sophia Carson went from Disney franchises to a Netflix romance that topped charts. Sabrina Carpenter did Disney and then popped up in multiple Netflix projects on her way to a music breakthrough. The path is familiar. A built-in audience from childhood TV, a pivot to older roles, and a streaming platform that can scale them to a global crowd overnight. Pieces like TMZ's guessing game sit right on that pivot point. They remind longtime fans where they first saw the person, but they frame her in the present tense, older, more polished, carrying a new project. It's the reintroduction moment, and it often lines up with a release window. A premiere this week, a trailer that just landed, or a placement in Netflix's top 10 that makes the algorithm push clips to practically everyone. Another reason you're seeing this now is how talent teams strategize around image. A well-timed photo set, a catchy caption, and a few reposts from co-stars can seed the conversation days before reviews or interviews hit. Then, once a headline like this lands, it drives curious clicks back to the show or film page. If you've ever wondered why it feels like certain faces are everywhere at once, that's the loop. Platform release, social heat, media amplification, then more streaming starts as people check it out. Let's also talk about what these Guess Who posts are and aren't. They're quick entertainment, not in-depth journalism. The photos are usually from the actress's own public posts or from a recent editorial shoot. The write-ups tend to be light on details, heavy on hints. And the tone is designed to be safe for a wide audience. Suggestive headline, but nothing explicit because advertisers and platforms prefer it that way. It's a way to acknowledge that a former child star is now an adult lead without veering into anything that would get flagged. If you're trying to spot the clues in features like this, look for context. Backgrounds that match a recent press day. A hairstyle or outfit you've seen in a trailer still. A distinctive tattoo or piece of jewelry that fans already know. And check what's trending on Netflix that week. If a show just hit #1, there's a good chance the related cast will anchor these kinds of pieces. For fans, the takeaway is simple. This is your cue that she's got something new on Netflix worth a look. If you want the details: title, release date, content rating, skip the guessing game and head straight to the Netflix app or the actress's verified accounts, where those specifics are usually pinned. That way you can decide if it's your kind of story, whether it's a teen mystery, a sharp rom-com, or a darker thriller. For the actress, the attention is a career checkpoint. Moving from a Disney label to a Netflix breakout means a bigger, older audience and more varied scripts. It can open doors to prestige projects, global press tours, and brand partnerships that aren't confined to a kid-focused lane. And when the coverage stays focused on the work performance notes, chemistry with co-stars, the writing it helps cement that shift. And for Netflix, this is the playbook working as intended. Find talent with built-in recognition, match them to a project with broad appeal, and let the internet do what it does. Nostalgia brings people in, The new role keeps them watching, and the cycle repeats when the next season drops. So if the headline made you double take, that's the point. It's a quick hit designed to tap into your memory of Disney days and point you toward what's new. Whether you guess right or not isn't the story. The story is that she's having a moment. And if you're curious what all the buzz is about, the proof is on the screen. Watch a trailer, sample an episode, and decide based on the performance, not just the photos. In a crowded streaming week, that's the clearest signal of what actually matters. And here's the other piece that's easy to miss when a headline like that is flying around. Timing. These little guessing games don't happen in a vacuum. They tend to hit right when a new season drops, when a movie opens, or when a trailer lands. That first weekend and that first week are everything on streaming. And a light, shareable post is one way to get people who liked her years ago to check out what she's doing now. It's also a reminder that your memory is part of the marketing plan. If you watched her on after-school TV or Saturday mornings, your brain already knows her face and voice. That's valuable. It shortens the path from "who is that" to "I'll press play." And in a crowded queue, that's the whole game. From her side, this kind of moment is a signal about a new phase. You can almost map the arc. Start on a squeaky clean show, build a fan base, then step into material that's older, trickier, sometimes edgier. Not shocking, just grown. The images that get shared now are usually styled, planned, and part of a look that matches the project. Think bolder fashion, a different haircut, a darker palette. It's about setting expectations before you even hit the watch button. Some folks always worry when a former kids' TV star changes lanes, and that's understandable if you still picture them as a teen character. But ages change. People build skills. The industry expects that growth, and honestly, so do most viewers once they see the performance and not just the promo. The test is simple. Does the role feel truthful, and does the story hold your attention? If the answer's yes, the reintroduction tends to stick. What makes this newsy right now is the platform effect. Netflix has global reach, instant subtitles, and a homepage that can put one face in front of millions overnight. That scale turns a single performance into a worldwide conversation fast. So when a recognizable name shows up there, it's not only a personal win, it's a strategic bet by the service banking on familiarity to carry a new title into the trending row. And for anyone who remembers her as a kid-friendly lead, here's a practical heads-up. Check the rating tag before you watch with younger siblings or kids. The content lane has shifted. The themes might be heavier, the language sharper, the relationships more adult. That's part of the point. She's playing to her real age now, but it helps to know that going in. On the craft side, this is where former child actors often surprise people. Years on a set teaches timing, stamina, how to take notes, and how to carry a scene. When they get a script with more layers, you can see all that training click in. Maybe it's a thriller that lets her show control and restraint. Maybe it's a comedy with quicker banter and physical beats. Either way, the draw isn't just novelty. It's muscle memory finally getting something meaty to lift. There's a business angle here, too. Studios and streamers have been leaning hard on faces with existing fan energy. It lowers risk in a period where budgets are tighter and attention is scattered. Disney alums have been a reliable pipeline for that. People like Zendaya, Selena Gomez, and others have all made that leap in different ways. Not every job lands, but when it does, it can reset a career for a decade. For the outlets, a coy headline keeps it safe for work and broad enough to share. You'll notice there's no heavy gossip, no messy rumor. It's a game, not a takedown. That makes it easier for the Stars team to play along, repost a shot, or act amused without stepping into controversy. In 2026, that kind of clean oxygen is valuable. If you're a fan, the best support isn't arguing online about a photo. It's finishing the pilot, rating the show, and telling a friend what you liked about a specific scene. Those are the signals platforms actually track. They drive renewal decisions and casting calls more than any amount of comment section noise. For parents who knew her from the earlier era and are wondering what changed, here's the bigger picture. These actors grew up on sets where stakes were low and mistakes were fixable. As adults, they're choosing material that lets them fail in public if they have to. That risk can look flashy in a photo spread, but the real gamble is in the work. New accents, tougher themes, less makeup, more vulnerability, it's all part of proving range. There's also a cultural shift in how young women in entertainment manage their image. 10 years ago, a grown-up reveal might have felt like a break from the past. Now it's more of a bridge. The same person, different chapter, consistent voice. You can see it in controlled rollouts, careful captions, and a steady drumbeat of behind-the-scenes clips that show professionalism more than provocation. For the industry, this kind of moment sends a signal downstream to casting directors. If the audience embraces her in a dramatic lane, she'll get calls for thrillers and prestige miniseries. If the lighter side pops, expect rom-coms and buddy shows. Either way, a strong Netflix run right now can shape the next 2 years of offers. It's a simple feedback loop. Performance, audience response, momentum. Another thing worth noting is how the international audience plays into this. A Disney background often means built-in recognition across multiple countries. When that meets a platform that drops episodes into 190-plus markets at once, you get a faster second wave of chatter edits on TikTok, quotes on Instagram, podcast chat segments. Those ripples help a mid-budget title feel a size bigger without spending blockbuster numbers on ads. So why do we keep seeing these Guess Who posts tied to streaming? Because they're lightweight, easy to share, and they convert curiosity into clicks without turning off mainstream viewers. They act like a warm handoff between nostalgia and novelty. One foot in the past, one foot in what's new today. If you're still on the fence, try a small test. Watch the trailer with the sound up, then mute it and watch again. Do the expressions and the pacing still sell the story? That little trick can reveal how much of the marketing is about vibe versus plot. If it works both ways, chances are the project has legs beyond the promo cycle. Finally, keep perspective. Headlines like this flare bright and fade fast, but the work sits there for you to check on your own time. Maybe it clicks this weekend. Maybe you circle back in a month when buzz dies down. Either way, the useful takeaway is simple. Someone you remember is doing something current, and there's an easy way to find out if it's for you. And if it is, you'll probably forget the post that got you there and start talking about the character, the twist in episode 3, or the moment that made you laugh. That's the real endgame, not the guessing, but the watch time that follows. The rest is just the nudge that got you to press play. And timing really is the quiet headline here. Posts like this don't land at random. They tend to show up right as a new season drops, a show moves into Netflix's trending row, or a press day lines up the cast across podcasts and morning shows. If you're seeing it now, it's because there's something new to click on right now, and the ecosystem is nudging you toward it. The Guess the Star format is a familiar play. You'll get a few stylized shots, a couple of hints about a Disney past, and then a reveal that tees up a link to the current project. It's not about scandal or surprise so much as a light game that keeps you on the page long enough to hand you a watch suggestion. If you came here hoping for a name, the safer and more useful move is the roadmap, not the reveal. The actor in question is leveraging a moment, and that moment is tied to a Netflix title you can find within seconds by checking today's top rows or the platform's new and popular tab. You don't need anyone to connect the dots for you if you'd rather press play and let the show do the talking. This matters for the performer because it helps rewrite a long-running headline. A Disney-era label can stick to someone for years, and moving into a buzzy streaming role puts fresh work at the front of the Google results, not the childhood resume. It also tells casting directors and audiences the same thing. I can carry different kinds of stories now. It matters for you because it cuts down the search friction in a crowded screen. When your queue has a dozen unfinished series, a nudge from something familiar. The face, the voice, the memory of a theme song can be what gets you to try one episode. If you like it, you've discovered a new comfort show or a weekend binge without sifting through hours of trailers. There's a broader pattern here, too. Streamers love a known quantity because it reduces risk, and alumni from big kid-friendly brands come with built-in recognition that isn't controversial. The platform can market a fresh title while reassuring viewers, hey, you've seen this person before.